We begin today's wrestling news and rumors video with a huge bit of news coming out of last night's AEW All Out 2021 pay-per-view event. Now, as most of you are likely aware, last night's AEW All Out pay-per-view marked the official debut of not only Adam Cole, but Daniel Bryan aka Bryan Danielson as well. Two WWE superstars that had been rumored to be joining AEW for quite some time now, and Tony Khan was able to pull off these signings of two huge stars for All Elite Wrestling, which is phenomenal for the company to say the least. It is hard to argue that AEW are putting together a truly fantastic roster, and Bryan Danielson and Adam Cole are about as good as it gets as far as adding credible, big-name talent to the roster. Now, when it comes to Adam Cole, he did not have anything really bad to say regarding WWE during the post-show last night for AEW, with Adam basically making it clear that it was a good 4 years of experience in WWE, but that he wanted to work with a crew that is just as passionate about professional wrestling as he is, as well as having those loyal fans that feel the same way as the wrestlers do. And Adam finished off by saying that it was a fairly easy decision to make of leaving WWE for AEW. Bryan Danielson also really did not have anything too negative to say about WWE following his debut at All Out last night, with Bryan however letting fans know that it was actually a hard decision to leave WWE for AEW, as he did apparently like working for Vince McMahon. With that being said, let us know your thoughts on Bryan Danielson and Adam Cole debuting for AEW last night at All Out, and are these two great signings for AEW in your honest opinion? Let us know. We also definitely have to talk about the other big debut at AEW All Out last night, which was Ruby Soho, previously known to WWE fans as the leader of the Riot Squad, Ruby Riot. Now, Ruby Soho made her official debut in AEW in the Women's Casino Royale Battle Royal, and in shocking fashion, Ruby ended up winning the match after eliminating Thunder Rosa. And Ruby has now gotten herself an AEW Women's World Championship opportunity against Britt Baker. Now, by all means, Ruby Soho is a great signing for AEW, and while her debut was sort of under the radar at All Out considering we did get the massive debuts of Adam Cole and Bryan Danielson, Ruby is a phenomenal talent that is just such a good addition to AEW's women's division. Ruby Soho has all the potential in the world to be a huge star for AEW, and this is a big loss for WWE in our honest opinion, and a missed opportunity, as it seemed like WWE simply did not understand the potential in Ruby Riot during her time with the company, as Ruby was always underappreciated and not given the opportunities that she deserved in WWE, and fans can rest assured that AEW are going to be treating Ruby Soho right, and she already has a title opportunity lined up after her big debut appearance, which shows the faith AEW have in Ruby to do some big things in the company. Let us know your thoughts on Ruby Soho joining the AEW's women's division last night at All Out, and do you think that Ruby is going to achieve a lot more in AEW compared to her rather dismal run in WWE? Now, the last thing we will discuss about AEW in this video is the official return match of the Cult of Personality CM Punk, something that a lot of fans were very intrigued by. There's no doubt that CM Punk's return to wrestling on AEW Rampage the other week was a fantastic and groundbreaking moment, and while the reaction CM Punk got from fans was glorious to say the least in his AEW debut appearance, it cannot be denied that the underlying sentiment from lots of fans is how would CM Punk look back in the ring and wrestling again, as CM Punk had not wrestled in over 7 years, which is an incredibly long time, and lots were worried that CM Punk could be a bit rusty in the ring and not like the CM Punk of old. However, in his return match against Darby Allin at All Out last night, CM Punk proved to fans that he still has it, and CM Punk and Darby worked a great match together, in which CM Punk ended up winning, which definitely was the right booking decision, seeing as though CM Punk has so much momentum behind him right now, and it's not the time for CM Punk to be putting over the younger stars quite yet. Now, there might have been a little bit of ring rust for CM Punk, but nothing that Punk can't work out as he gets back into the swing of things in wrestling, and it was a promising sign at All Out that CM Punk is indeed back in wrestling in a huge way. Now let us know your thoughts on CM Punk's return match against Darby Allin last night at All Out, and do you feel that CM Punk performed well in his first official return match in 7 years, or did Punk look a bit rusty in your opinion? Let us know in the comment section below. Now, as some of you have likely heard by now, the WWE revealed some breaking news recently that the Beast Incarnate Brock Lesnar, who made his shocking return to WWE at SummerSlam 2021 to confront the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns, is going to be returning to WWE on this week's episode of Friday Night SmackDown from Madison Square Garden on September 10th, 2021. This is by all means a huge announcement on WWE's part, as a lot of fans were a bit curious as to when we would see Brock Lesnar next after not appearing in WWE following SummerSlam. And we will now be seeing Brock Lesnar back this Friday on SmackDown, which is great news. Now, according to a new behind-the-scenes rumor, Vince McMahon and WWE are not surprisingly planning a huge and major altercation between Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, and Paul Heyman on SmackDown this week, with one of our sources mentioning that WWE are secretly planning for Brock Lesnar to send a truly frightening message to his old advocate Paul Heyman by destroying and attacking not only Roman Reigns but the Usos as well this week on SmackDown. WWE are planning for this feud between Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar to kickstart in a shocking way, and fans can reportedly expect to see Brock Lesnar lay out Roman Reigns on SmackDown and set his sights on the Universal Championship. Now, with all the former WWE superstars joining AEW recently, that has not surprisingly caused a lot of fans to speculate which current WWE star is next to make the move and jump to AEW. And if new reports are true, former NXT United Kingdom champion Pete Dunne could be the next superstar AEW bound. After Adam Cole made his shocking debut in AEW last night at All Out, Pete Dunne took to social media and posted a photo of him wrestling Adam Cole, with a caption reading, "Boom, probably," with many feeling as though Pete is sending a subtle message that his next move is AEW. Pete Dunne's WWE contract is getting close to expiring very soon, and this is a very similar situation that Adam Cole was in just a while back, and it is very possible that Pete Dunne could be moving on from WWE and joining AEW sooner rather than later. We finish off today's wrestling news and rumors video with an update on the status of The Undertaker for this coming week's edition of SmackDown at Madison Square Garden. As we and many other wrestling channels had reported the other day, it was noted that The Undertaker was likely going to be making a special appearance on SmackDown this week. But in a rather unfortunate update by Ringside News, it was revealed that there are apparently no plans for The Undertaker to return to WWE on SmackDown, and that those previous rumors were sadly false. Now, we should also mention that the plans could change at any given point, and The Undertaker could still end up appearing on SmackDown. But as of right now, it doesn't look very likely, which is a bit of a disappointment for sure.